pandemic legacy. Apparently, there's a pandemic. If you guys didn't have enough fun doing
you guys
the
didn't want to
pandemic
live
in
through it,
2020,
you can play it.
you can
too.
play it too. By Z-Man Games.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Games Wild. It's actually Season 2, Episode 1, and we are live on Twitch. We are going to try to do this more often now. We're going to try to shoot for Sundays between 1 and 2 o'clock, so keep that handy. SJW likes to show some of the prep, so that's what you caught a little bit at the beginning there if you were watching live. So we are here. We've made it. We're into year 2. SJW, could you imagine that you and I would not be that boy band that broke up but stayed together in year 2?
Honestly, I am very happy and excited about what we've come up with by the end of year 1 and kind of put together for it. I almost just blew it too, so I had to think before I just spoke there because we do have some announcements.
Yeah, we have announcements at the end of the podcast, at the end of the YouTube video, and at the end of this live stream, obviously.
whatever way you're watching.
But now that we are live and all that fun stuff, if you are able to join us, please do. We will send out all of the announcements on our social medias, and please like our Game Wild Twitch TV page now. We're here. Follow us. Follow us. Twitch TV /Game Wild TV. And also, please note that if you are still listening to us on the podcast app or you are watching us on YouTube, that if you haven't already, which you probably did, but if you haven't, like, subscribe, ring that bell, give us 5-star reviews because you like us so much. All those fun things. Please do that. And now that we've got the sponsorship out of the way, it is time to get into episode 1.
I feel like every time you talk about the sponsorship, it's like I feel like you think the more that we just say sponsorship, it'll just happen. Like if we just keep thinking it and saying it, it'll happen. Sponsorship.
So what we are trying to accomplish in year 2. It's one of our goals, but hey, we'll see what happens. But we're gonna start off with a twist. That's right. The question of the week is actually going to do with games, but not the games that we normally talk about. This time, we're going to be talking about the old school of old school games, the tabletop board game.
Hey,
what was your favorite board game?
Whoa! Board game. All right, you say old school, but board games are very much still a thing.
Like, I didn't say they're not a thing, but but when you talk about the fact that board games are the original games, right? Like, I mean, these are like.
Well, technically, dice games were, right? Or I guess dice is technically
they kind of fall within that realm. I don't know if people want to get a little bit hardcore about it.
Now we're gonna get into the history of games here, back in 1300 AD. So, what were the Romans playing back in the 1200s?
Exactly. So, with that being said, SJW, this is your question. So why don't you go first? What is your favorite board game?
Putting me on the spotlight here.
Well, I mean, you're the one who came up with the question, so I assume you already had the answer already in the chamber.
Well, we also have a topic we're going to discuss too a little bit later with the article we found on board games. But so I got kind of a twofer here. So I want to give a shout out. No. I just want to give a shout out to one board game because it's recent.
All my board games I've ever played, but this one, there's one that's special in my heart. But I'm shouting out all the other ones.
Well,
Monopoly guy.
Oh, dude, no. If I have a least favorite board game, it's Monopoly, but I'll still play it. That's the sad part. I hate Monopoly, but if somebody was like, if 8 people were down to play Monopoly, I'm down to play Monopoly. So
that's a scary game.
That's like League of Legends. It's like an addiction, right?
Well, no, I mean if you're gonna play with 8 people on Monopoly, that's gonna be really rough.
So
if that's even possible. I don't even know how many players goes up to.
No. I think you can have 8. Can you have 6?
Well, maybe.
It's either 6 or 8. All right, but anyway, so the shout out goes to, because it's more recent, Catan, Settlers of Catan. Have you ever played that?
I have not, but you want to know what? I actually got a movie on demand that is about the board games and championships, and like apparently Settlers of Catan is like one of the biggest. Like they win almost every year the board game championship. So
they release like expansion packs all the time, and basically what it is you have these I think they're octagon tiles, and each side of the octagon has like a resource or something, and you're just moving these pieces and trading resources with people to get what you want to do, and then eventually you put stuff together to win the game. And the expansion packs just add like more tiles, more resources, more players, like so, and they just keep building on this original octagon tile out. So it's a really good game that a lot of my friends, even if they're not like super gamers into video games and stuff, they really love that game. But my all-time favorite game, and this is an old school game that's been around for quite some time, is Axis and Allies. I absolutely love that board game. Have you ever played that?
I have not. And we're gonna have this. Is what happens when we're live. This is what happens when we're live. We have kids that come in. We have kids that come in and break in and say hello.
Hello.
This is what live happens. This is what happens when we're live.
This is the start of a brand new season. This is what I like to see.
This is the new season, and we're live, and we have children jumping around playing.
Say
Can you say hi to everyone?
Like
we're live. We're live in the world. Say
What's
hello.
up?
Hi. Hello.
She's saying hi. All right. She's excited. She's excited for season 2. But you know what? It is actually good that she's here because she's getting into board games now too.
Really? What has she been playing?
Well, we got this game called Marvel Battlegrounds, which is pretty cool. So you get characters, the little figurines, and she's got 3 more that we have to open at some point. So we got like character wise, and like they're like those specialty Funko packs where you like don't know who you're gonna get.
Yep. Gotcha.
So pretty much like what it is. So that's what we got going on. But yes, season 2 starting off with a bang as I expected.
So but I'm more focused on the fact that you have not played Axis and Allies.
No, I mean I've played Risk, but that's probably the closest it's ever that is.
Yeah, Risk. Axis and Allies is a lot more strategy dependent, but basically Axis and Allies it's a world map, and you have countries that start with units in it, like army men and tanks and stuff like that. And those units you have to buy, you have resources every turn that you have to build up and continue to utilize. And those units you have to move into other countries to end up taking over, other people's countries and stuff. And eventually, it's basically a reenactment of World War II. The one that I played anyways, World War II. So, all right. But, so with that said, all right, what do you got then? If you haven't played Axis and Allies, you haven't played Catan, and if it's not Monopoly, unless it is Monopoly.
It is not Monopoly.
Or Risk, sorry. Risk is very like Axis and Allies. You know what I was thinking of when you said Risk?
That's what I was saying.
No, I was thinking of, what's that game? Stratego. I was thinking of Stratego when you said Risk. The game where you like flick the people down or whatever the heck it's called. All right, so what do we got? What's your favorite?
All right, it's a classic. It's old school. It is Clue.
Clue? Okay, I can get down with Clue. Did you ever play a game called Mystery Mansion?
Sounds familiar.
It's very similar to Clue, but it's like high tech. Like it had this little like computer thing that came with it, and it was pretty cool. But it was very similar to Clue. I love me a good Clue game. I'm not gonna lie. Go. Yeah, Clue is definitely up there. So all right, cool.
All right, so that's it. So that's Clue. So now that we've had the question of the week, what is your favorite board game? You can post on Facebook, or you could say it in the chat if you are around in our chat, to start telling us what you think. So SGW.
Well, what we're gonna do is, I just want to let everybody know too. So next time and every week moving forward, we're gonna be posting either on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, basically asking the question of the week before we go live. So the idea is that maybe we can get some answers from you guys before we go live. We can actually talk about those games as well. It just gives us some more ideas.
We can bring in the peeps. Bring in our peoples.
So let us know. Respond to that stuff.
Yeah, so let's do it. But, there's another thing that you'll be able to interact with us. Game Eats or Gamer Eats, because we haven't been able to decide on a pod. So, hey, listen, this is a new system, so we're trying to figure it out. I think we're going to stick with Game Eats. I think that's what Game Eats. We're going to go Game Eats. Yeah. So, this episode of Game Eats, we've decided to go with something because it is the NFL playoffs that started this weekend. And what goes great with football but chicken wings? But as you all know, eating chicken wings can be very, very difficult when playing a game because it all gets all messy and your fingers get all sticky. So what can we do to simulate the buffalo chicken wing experience without all that sticky mess? Well, maybe Ruffhouse has created something that could be the Double Crunch Hot Wings flavored chips. So that's what we're gonna try this week. In in the fact that the NFL playoffs have started and people absolutely
that's right.
love to eat chicken wings during
the Patriots
football parties and stuff like that. Last year, if you go back to season 1 and you go back to the first couple episodes, if people don't already know, I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan, and they went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City last year. Justin was lucky enough to come to my house to watch.
I was lucky enough to go to your house. I was lucky enough to be invited to the one and only Ruffhouse Plays domain.
Well, this was before all this COVID stuff happened. But however,
I see what you said.
Into account that the spread for that was pretty solid.
Oh my god, the food was great. Yeah. Listen, not for nothing. Ruffhouse knows how to cook a snack. Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So we had this beer machine, it's like a keg that I had, like a special keg machine, which I still have, and it's super hard to buy little kegs for it. But whatever. I digress. So, anyways, so we're getting back to that point where parties are going to be happening. Probably people are still going to have it, but how do you eat some fun food while playing a game without getting all that sticky mess on you? And we hope that these are the answer. So, with that being said, let's try it. What do you say? Let's just dig right in and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm kind
of. Or do you want to talk about it before?
Well, all right. Well, let's do a couple things, right? Because we did have some information here. So this is more of a typical chip. Like I think this is sold in the U.S., right? So this isn't.
It is sold in the U.S.
So this isn't like a foreign food, because I think we did some Spanish.
Yeah, we did we did Mexico. Yeah, we did the queso Ruffles a couple weeks back.
This is supposed to have. So see, this is why I want to talk about this before we eat it. This is supposed to have quote unquote 2 times the crunch. So let's make sure we take that into consideration.
The thickness of the chip, I think, is a little thicker than your standard Ruffles chip.
Frito-Lay was founded, fun fact, in 1932 by C.E. Doolin. And there's 29 snack brands today, 55,000 employees with, honestly, I looked at some of these brands. I have not heard of any of these from Frito-Lay. Rolled Gold, the Walking Taco, Simply.
You ever heard of Rolled Gold? Those are like the pretzels.
No. Oh, that's what those are. Okay. I can picture them now, but I didn't know the name was Rolled Gold.
You're picturing the bag gold in your head now, right?
Yeah, I'm just picturing gold, though. Yeah. Maui style, Matador, I haven't seen, but we really got to think about this double crunch when we rip into these.
Yeah, right? Well, you guys are going to be able to hear it, and you can decide.
All right.
Right, so here we go.
So right into the mic.
And is it any good? We will rate these. So.
It smells good. Smells like
smells good. The dusting doesn't feel too bad. Let's try it. You ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, so it's definitely a thicker chip. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that this does, in fact, have 2 times the crunch. Because you've had regular Ruffles before, right?
Hmm?
So those are like I'm picturing eating those. I wish I had a Ruffle to compare, but those are substantially thinner from what I remember. And these are solid chips. You know what these would be good for too? I don't know if they have. Yeah, exactly.
There you go, right? Because what do you usually have with chicken wings, like a ranch or a blue cheese? So I would go for it. And I have to say, flavor's there.
Yeah.
Buffalo heat's there. I mean, it lives up to its name.
Not too hot either.
Nope. Just enough spice. I've eaten a couple. You've eaten a couple. How do your fingers look? Trying to see if I can get a thicker one.
Not bad. You mentioned dusting when you opened up the bag, and I will say there are some chips that, like, if you pull out the chip, right, and you look at it, it actually looks like there's like mounds of dust, like they've like piled together, right? And that's usually a pretty big sign that there's too much seasoning on it. But this one doesn't seem to have that look, and because of that, I'm not really getting too much dust on my hand though. But I will say, I forget what was the other chip. Was it the Doritos that we had that was from Mexico? Or no?
No, the queso.
Sorry, that was the queso. This does have more finger gush stuff than those did. So my fingers are definitely dirtier from this than from the queso that we had from Mexico, right? So, but overall, we're both still eating them, right? So,
yep.
It does give me a buffalo taste too. It's not just straight up spicy. It's buffalo. Yep. It's a buffalo wing. So, I'm gonna give these. We're doing 1 out of 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give these a solid. It's between 8 and 9 for me.
All right. Well, let me help you break the tie.
Okay.
I'm a 9.
You're a 9. Oh man, I hate giving up high scores because then it's that much harder.
All right. Let me tell you why I gave it a high score like that. Okay. Because it didn't disappoint. It checked all the boxes for me. It's got the crunch. It's got the buffalo flavor to it, so it's reminiscent of eating a chicken wing in some respect, right? The crunch is probably the key thing because, to be honest with you, there is nothing worse than a soggy buffalo wing.
Okay.
A crunchy buffalo wing is... I can almost forgive some of the taste of a buffalo sauce if the wing is crunchy enough because it just... It overtakes it, right? So it covers that. The namesake is there. There's nothing that, like, you know how you eat stuff sometimes and it's like, wow, that flavor is so way off. How the hell are they even calling it that? This is not the case. This fits every single checkbox. And the only reason it's not perfect is because,
it doesn't
quite honestly,
wow you or anything. It's not like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It's going to be extremely difficult to get a perfect score.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was going to say. So you sold me on a 9. Because you're right. I can't really find anything wrong with the chip per se.
You know, like I said, it's like, and the dusting isn't that bad, so it's not going to really dirty your controller up. I mean,
it's not
keep
Cheetos,
an eye on it, obviously. It's not Cheeto dust, for sure. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it doesn't seem to like cover your hands. So
maybe that's why I was thinking an 8. Because I am thinking there's a little bit more dust than the previous chips that we tried, and maybe that's what's leaning me towards that 8. But I'll go with a 9. And I agree, it's going to be hard to get a 10.
No.
I don't know how the hell we're going to get a 10.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, we're going to have a gourmet meal to have probably. So
now accepting applications to come and cook on our podcast.
I mean, heck, you know, we're going to try to expand and do some things that we'll talk about at the end of this podcast. So you never know. We could have some cooking classes in the midst as we expand our horizons. But with that being said, we hope you enjoyed this segment of Game Eats. That's what we're going to call it now, Game Eats. The Buffalo Double Crunch Ruffles edition. And please go to our Facebook page. We will be putting out some information about the next couple of snacks we have available, and we want you guys to vote so we can find out what we're going to eat next, because we have 2 more flavored chips to try out, and then we're going to continue to work on different things. One is going to be we never know. We're going to try another type of Dorito just to give you guys a kind of a preview of what we have. There's a different type of Dorito that we're going to try, and there is kind of like your standard fare healthier snack that we have there for gamers who may be a little health conscious but still want to down some chips. So you'll be able to go on our Facebook page and see what those are and be able to vote for them. So with that being said, let's get into our first topic of the day, which is
related to our
question of the week.
Yep.
Exactly, which we try to do.
Every so often we're actually organized here on this podcast.
The best board games of 2020.
Which the article title, by the way, is pretty on point. Top of the table. Okay. Top of the table.
We love being on top of the table.
So, or I don't know. Well, technically, the name of the article is the best board games of 2020. So I don't know if that's maybe a second.
Right. I think top of the table is like their name for the actual thing. So.
All right. So now here we go. So I thought because you had said you haven't seen or played Axis and Allies or Catan, or you said you saw Catan but you haven't played it. I was like, oh man, I must be like, kind of the board game expert here among the both of us, thinking, I know a little bit about board games. Now I'm going through this list, and already the first 2, I have no freaking idea what these are. I've never seen these.
Let's just say that what we're saying here, I've never played any of these before. Honestly, never.
So the first one is Athena Mystic Library. Publisher is Renegade Game Studios. I have no Atlantis Rising, which I mean they've made a lot of games based on Atlantis, so I guess that makes sense. Publisher is Elf Creek Studios. Dune Imperium, which actually sounds vaguely familiar, but it's like a sci-fi board game. Then we got Forgotten Waters by Plaid. Jesus Christ. Plaid Hat Games, yeah. You know, English sometimes for me is a little difficult.
It's extremely difficult for you.
Fort with the publisher Letter Games, or Leader Games, however that's pronounced. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, which I think I have heard of that one as well. I think it says it's a fantasy campaign adventure. I think that's kind of like along the lines of Dungeons and Dragons. So I guess, where have we been, Joe? What have we been doing to not have
playing
ever
video
seen?
games?
I guess, yeah. I guess, you know, we don't usually talk about board games on this channel, but this definitely does pique my interest a little bit into the world of board games. I know. Oh, what was that thing we went to? Remember? Oh no, that was Dungeons and Dragons, right? So remember the thing we went to at PAX?
Yeah, well, there was like a Cybertron one for Transformers. There was a bunch of different kinds that were there. So
yeah, so that's this is, I don't know, just very interesting that there's this many board games, and I've pretty much just been, you know, beelined in focus on you know, Axis and Allies and Katana.
Apparently, and I've only been playing Clue, Monopoly, and Trouble.
Well, see, Clue, Monopoly.
And Battleship.
You're not an American, or you didn't like have a childhood if you didn't grow up playing Clue, Monopoly, and Trouble, right? Like, or Hungry Hippos. Is that a board game?
Hungry Hippos was on there. I guess, yeah, that's technically Connect 4, classic.
Oh, Connect 4.
You know,
okay, yep.
And then you know, Battleship. Like I said, Battleship.
Oh,
you have sunk my battleship.
Oldie but goodie there. That's a good one. Yes. Battle Shots. You ever played that?
No, I've not played Battle Shots because I'm a nerd.
Yeah. So, all right. So here's something I do want to bring up. A couple other games first. So we had Mariposas by Alderac Entertainment Group. Pandemic Legacy. Apparently there's a pandemic. If you guys didn't have enough fun doing the pandemic in 2020,
you can play it.
Play it too. By Z-Man Games. There's also Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, Awakened Realms. And that's it. So, but here is my thing. Where's chess and checkers? I mean, we're talking about some of the first games. I'm pretty sure chess and checkers were probably the first two, if not the first two, board games.
Yeah, checkers probably.
And now I say this is twofold, and I don't know if you know this. Do you know? I gotta look up his name because I totally forgot what his name was. The Team Liquid chess player.
No, I don't
know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Hikaru Nakamura or Hikaru. Wow, Jesus, Hikaru. Jeez, I've heard his name so many times. Hikaru Nakamura.
How you make fun of me? Saying last name. You apparently can't say first names.
So no, I can't. I can't say names. Period. So sorry, it wasn't Liquid. It was TSM. TSM signed a Grandmaster and 5-time champion in Hikaru Nakamura. This guy streams on Twitch now, and since all of this has transpired, and this is one of the reasons why TSM signed him, chess has been blowing up online. It's like people realize you don't need a chessboard physically in front of you to play chess, and now people, which you could always, you know, back when we had Windows 95, there was like chess that you could play. So we've always had access to that, but it's just now seemingly getting popular online, and people are streaming it, and like big streamers too. I think XQC was actually learning how to play from Hikaru. I don't know when this happened, but he was also learning how to play. So it's like, it's just crazy to think that now in 2021, chess has withstood the test of time and is one of the more popular games to be playing online right now. So you haven't seen anything about that?
No, I haven't, and that's because I live in a rock.
So, but yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that. I thought it was interesting. The most popular board games out there right now. I'm gonna keep an eye out for some of those that clearly we have never seen before. So
clearly,
but one day, hopefully we'll be able to play those.
So now let's move on to some Debbie Downer news because SJW thought it was good to bring people down
All
at
right,
the start of season 1.
we
and
have
season
to
2.
be informative on this cast, Ruffhouse. And honestly, listen, this is so you can't look at it like that. We have to. It's a celebration of death, right? Isn't that what people say?
I mean, celebration of life, actually.
Or sorry, celebrate. Or yeah, depends on which way you look at it, I guess. Celebration of life. So, but like.
Bang up job.
So did you actually this guy, the Tetris champion? So for those of you guys listening,
Alert.
yeah, spoiler alert. Jonas Neubauer, legendary Tetris player, died at the age of 35. I think it was in the past week or so.
39.
Sorry, 39. And yeah, it's been a long week for me. All right, give me a break. And so did you ever see the clip of him playing versus like that 12-year-old clip online, or that 12-year-old kid? It's
was
like,
that like the Nintendo? Was that like the Nintendo World Champions or something? Or
I think so. It's a pretty viral clip where
and the
he's
kid
going
beat him,
head, and the kid barely beat him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason why that was a big deal, because I didn't know, because I saw that clip and I was like, wow, what do you know? A 12-year-old, Asian beats some white dude at Tetris. Like, that doesn't surprise me. Like, so it's like, that's video games for you. But that was one of the only times that he actually got beaten. So apparently from 2010 to 2018 or something like that, and it says it in this article, 2017, he won 7 times, like, world championship. So, and I think, so there must have been 8 world championships in there, right? Because it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, yeah. See, that confuses me because I'm thinking 2017.
Zero counts as 1.
Yeah. So,
Zero counts as 1.
So he actually won 7 times. So I think, putting 2 and 2 together, and I don't know for sure, but I think that video of him and that kid was the one time that he lost, and that was why that was a big deal. Because I always wondered, like, why is this particular world championship for Tetris such a big deal? And that was why. And I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you know what I'm talking about when you saw that, right? Mm-hmm. With how freaking fast they go. Like, were you ever good at Tetris?
Oh, not as good as them. I mean, I was okay, but not like crazy monster blaster type,
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's crazy to see what they do. So I don't know, I wanted to bring it up because the other thing I wanted to say earlier, and I held it for the podcast, and I wanted to talk to you about this too. It's kind of unfortunate to me, I think, that we have people like this in the gaming industry as well that get so many like Ninja. Ninja's gonna get recognized because he's Ninja, because he's like the face of gaming. Same thing with Shroud and all these other big names, because they're playing the right games, I guess, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they're playing the game that's most popular right now. And then you have people that are really into the retro games, a lot of older people as well, like older generations, like this guy who just absolutely crushed the field for so long. And I bet you barely anybody knows who this guy is in the world. And, I think that's kind of unfortunate, because I think that it takes a lot of skill to play Tetris at that level. It's insane. It takes a lot of skill to play any video game at a high level. I think that's a lot of people underestimate that still to this day, even though gaming is becoming such a huge thing. And it's just unfortunate. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up. So if you don't know who Jonas Neubauer was, now you do. He is bomb at playing Tetris, but unfortunately he's no longer with us and will not be winning any tournaments any longer. So if you're a Tetris player, that means you might have a chance to win a tournament now. So
right side.
The other guy too, man.
Oh, there was another one, yes.
This one
hit closer to home for you.
Yeah, this sucks. So Brad Venable died as well, and if you guys don't know who that is, he was one of the voice actors in the Final Fantasy VII remake, which just recently came out. He also actually voiced over Devil May Cry 5, which is another huge game. So I'm actually trying to see which character he voiced. I know being V's. All right, so he was Griffin and Nightmare in Devil May Cry 5, and he did some World of Warcraft stuff. I think he did multiple. Yeah, he said it does multiple side characters in Final Fantasy VII remake. So he actually did a lot of different side characters, but he did some major voices for Devil May Cry 5 and Call of Duty Black Ops, and he also did the Daz English dub on Attack of Titan, which is pretty cool as well. Did you watch Attack on Titan?
I have not. No.
It's a very good anime. What's the last anime you've watched?
I was watching One Piece for a little bit. I was getting into that, and then life happens. So.
Oh, did I show you the display that Steph got me for One Piece?
No.
Oh, dude.
You have to show me.
Okay, yeah. Hold on, maybe I'll show you after then.
We'll show you after.
Yeah, I was
post
gonna
it
go
on
run
our.
and get it.
But we'll post it. We'll post it on the social media. So if you haven't followed us on social media or on our Facebook or Twitter or all that stuff, why don't you join our group, and then you'll be able to see the disc plate that SGW got for Christmas.
I love them. You can see a lot in the background too in the live stream.
You can see a lot.
YouTube,
yes, you can. The target bag especially is pointing out to me.
That's it.
Really
I know. Every time I look back there, I always see that target bag. That's actually from your office too. All right, so there's I guess the somber portion of the podcast. So I do apologize, Joe, but I did want to get it out there because voice actors don't get a lot of credit too. I think so. And it's crazy because he did Dragon Ball Super apparently too. Some characters, probably nobody big, but he probably did some of the side characters. And it's crazy to think like if growing up you listen to Goku, the voice actor, like the whole time, and then he dies.
And then you see who he is.
And then you see who he actually is. You hear his real voice, and then you realize, well, shit, if this show is still going, this guy can't voice my favorite character anymore. So like, this isn't gonna be the same,
It's not.
And a lot of people
can
have
get close,
connections.
but.
All right, so what is up next?
Well, next it looks like we've got another acquisition. Epic Games, trying to build their repertoire, has now announced a new acquisition of RAD game tools. The goal is to make a better Unreal Engine.
Phew.
So it's a technology business, RAD game tools. So it's not a game. It's something that people built out to make gaming better or make development of video games better.
I think
they're a software development company. That's what it says they are, a software development company.
Well, the biggest thing
appears in close to 25,000 games and are leveraged by the world's leading gaming companies, including Epic. So
they the biggest thing that sticks out to me, which by the way, if you go to their website radgametools.com, you can tell they're not like an actual game. They're just like they just provide software and stuff because it looks like a website from like 1998. So
yeah, and in short, it says that they are doing rendering, insights, and audio for Unreal Engine, so in animation.
The big thing, I guess, why Epic wanted them, and it's this thing down here. If you go to their website, it says Oodle. Apparently, they did something with data compression, which is really why Epic wanted them. I guess they actually already helped Epic with compressing Fortnite, so that Fortnite can run a little bit smoother on consoles. So. And it says Oodle data compression gives you the fastest lossless generic data decoding in the world. Load your data faster, pack your data smaller, cross-platform, and easy to use. Maybe that was one of the advantages that it's cross-platform because I know Fortnite was one of the pilots and real leaders in pushing everything to be cross-platform alongside things like Rocket League and stuff like that. So, but what blows my mind is in their statement, like you said, they want to continue to improve Unreal Engine. So the fact that they're picking up an entire company to improve on, like, to me, like, how do you improve Unreal Engine? Like that thing, Unreal Engine is so good. It has been around since like the dawn of gaming, and it has consistently been at the top tier of like all games use this, right? So many good games use Unreal Engine. So the fact that they're picking up another company to just further support that entire project in Unreal Engine is pretty cool. I'm very curious to see what they come up with in the next year or so. You remember the video that we saw, right?
Which one?
The Unreal Engine.
Oh yes, back. Yep. Mm-hmm.
With like the cave and the water.
It was like a bootleg Tomb Raider.
Yeah, exactly. Like that looked gorgeous. Now, granted, whatever they show you usually isn't exactly what's in the game. Cyberpunk. But it still looks really good, and especially on a computer, obviously Unreal Engine has more capabilities to actually be able to pull that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like Epic's really pushing because in that article it also states that they've purchased a huge mall where it's going to be their new global headquarters. So Epic is getting bigger.
Oh, it's funny. I actually saw a separate article on that too. I didn't realize they mentioned it in this article. Yeah. almost a million square feet of space. Jesus Christ!
Right.
Wait, did they say where it was?
Yeah, Cary, North Carolina, I believe.
Oh my! If you click the article too, the first picture that shows up is it says Stark Industries.
Stark Industries, and then it says this is not what it's gonna look like.
Well, yeah, this is. I think, if I know this correctly, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This Stark Industries picture is from Chapter 2, Season 4 last year. It was a section in Fortnite that you could visit, because they change it all the time. So that's insane. I mean, Epic is growing at an incredible clip, which. I mean, between Epic and Riot, I mean, they pretty much have a stranglehold on the gaming industry right now, right?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
And with that segue, see what I did there?
Let's go to our final final
kind of
story.
Final. Yeah,
final story. Well, we got the segments and all that fun stuff. But he mentioned it prior in a cough. Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be giving away free DLC. We just wanted to mention it. It's kind of an older thing, but it's good to just let people know, if you haven't known, that there's still ongoing issues with Cyberpunk, and I guess this is kind of an olive branch in some respect by giving away free DLC. What it entails, no one knows. When is it supposed to happen? No one really knows. But at least it's not an expansion DLC that you're going to have to purchase. It will be free. Hopefully it will be robust and will give people something to feel better about their purchase if they kept the game. So.
Yeah, and I mean, this was pretty much a requirement at this point, right, for Cyberpunk?
Well, I mean, nothing's technically a requirement as much as it's like, hey, do your fans justice, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I mean. Like, if they didn't do this, everybody would have.
They're already kind of in it, though. I mean,
yeah.
At this point in time, there's not much stuff they can build out goodwill outside of doing stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well,
but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, so you messed with my order. I thought you were gonna say.
There. Oh my gosh, I did. I didn't even see that. I'm sorry,
I was trying to segue from Epic to Riot, and then he's like, yeah, that segue, and then he's like, our kind of top, and I was like, okay, I like where he's going with this, and then he's like, and Cyberpunk, and I'm like, wait, what?
You know why? Because Cyberpunk. So guys, a little bit inside the curtain here. He bolded the free DLC, but did not bold the Riot Games 2021 preview. Therefore, I kind of like overlooked the Riot Games 2021 preview.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable, man.
Hey, you know what? This
such a beautiful
segue. This is great for our first episode of season 2, where we just, try to build a bridge, and then it starts to fall apart a little bit, and now we're running to get to the end of it. So let us now go to the Riot Games 2021 preview. What a segue.
Yeah, now that we have the best segue. So I imagine you didn't have the time to watch this show. I don't know if you or read about it. Did you hear
League
about
of
this?
Legends stuff?
Yeah. Well, no. It's not just League of Legends. Basically what Riot did was on Twitch, Friday I think it was at 7 a.m. Pacific, they went live and they were talking about basically the 2021 season for Riot and what's in store for everything. Now, one thing I wanted to, which stuck out to me, and I'm not sure, I don't know if this was intended or purposely or what, Valorant was not spoken about in that presentation. They spoke about League of Legends, they spoke about Teamfight Tactics, and they spoke about Legends of Runeterra. And they spoke about the other games that they're coming out with. One of those being the Ruined King, which is that RPG game type thing, which I think we talked about a few podcasts ago. But they didn't talk about Valorant, and I'm very curious as to if that means like they're just tossing Valorant out, like they don't really want it, or if they're treating it separately because it's a shooter. Like I don't know. But anyways, I don't know.
Looking at this, it feels a lot like it felt more like a League of Legends style. Focus. So
it was. So if you, I mean, their
that
game
could
is
be
League
why.
of
I mean, all of these are League of Legends things, and Valorant isn't League of Legends, right? It's its own separate piece that's not connected to the League of Legends world, or am I wrong there?
No. It is just not. It's probably least connected from all of them, but it is meant to be a part of that universe. But like, look as an example, right? Scroll all the way down, and if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see all these links, and it says Esports, Legends of Runeterra, Teamfight Tactics, League of Legends Wild Rift, and League of Legends. Those are the games they went over. Valorant wasn't one of them. They even went over League of Legends Wild Rift, which is their mobile version of League of Legends.
But they're probably trying to push that a little bit more. I think that's probably why. So.
I don't know, man. It just seems really weird to me. I'm actually gonna look into that and see why that was, but I don't know. So anyways,
you're scared about a game that you don't play. You've never really played.
I'm not scared. I'm just curious because Valorant. I always am very curious.
Maybe we should download Valorant and play it on Friday night's podcast.
I've already played it. It's free, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we could do that. We could try that.
Yeah. I've already played it. I'm down to play it with you though, because it's a good game. It's like CS:GO meets oh Jesus, was it here? Not Heroes of the Storm. What's that? Overwatch. It's like CS:GO meets Overwatch, right? And I really like it, but I'm always curious when any game, whether it's a game that I like or dislike or whatever, I'm just curious to see its life cycle, right? And Valorant, when Riot was like, hey guys, we're releasing the next and better CS:GO, everybody's like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And so if that game is going down the path of like it was overhyped and now it's just going to fall into oblivion.
It's a MOBA.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just I'm just interested to see why that was. What was it about the game that didn't catch it? What was it that didn't stick? And maybe that's another discussion for the podcast.
Another day, right?
But so anyways, the rest of this whole thing, basically they went over the new season for League of Legends 2021. One of the big things is that all of the like the LEC, the LCS, the LCK, these are all the regions for League of Legends. They're all getting overhauls with like their graphic design and just how they're operating. So that's pretty cool. The NA LCS, as an example, has a completely different format in regards to the teams playing each other each season. They're actually playing more games this year than any other year. The coolest thing though, man, like I don't know how much you're into the lore of League of Legends or any of that stuff, or
not at all.
Yeah. They loop the lore of this game into everything so well. Like some of these cinematics are you
have to. Mm-hmm.
Well, you do have to, but I think that's what Riot has caught on to, and that other people have not. Riot is no longer just a games company. Riot is a storyteller. Riot is art, right? They create a game and they go, let's take this game and blow it the hell up into this big piece of art with cinematics and drawings and characters and storylines, and it just really makes you fall in love with these games. And the cinematics that they showed during this event were so on point. They get you hyped. They give you goosebumps because you're looking at you're like, that's my favorite character from the game, and he looks badass in the cinematic. And now it starts putting a voice behind the characters and this whole storyline and all that stuff. And it really gets people to just want to be a part of that. That Runeterra community. And, they announced some stuff for Teamfight Tactics. There's a new season. Legends of Runeterra, they gave the roadmap for the rest of the year on the Twitter as well. And Wild Rift, they're going to start actually pushing out to people now as well. And I still don't understand how you play a MOBA on mobile. I mean, I know it's like half the word there, MOBA, mobile, but like, it doesn't work for me. The dual twin stick controls, not doing it for me for MOBA. Just saying.
No. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can always play it on a tablet, so I guess that probably is where it's kind of pushing.
You know when I can do it? Because I actually got this.
And they have like those controllers too now, so that you can connect your phone and stuff. So maybe that's another thing you got to put into account. So
I was just gonna mention that the problem with, because I have one of those for my phone.
Yeah.
The problem is all it does is it gives you basically the two handles that protrude out the side.
Yeah.
So as far as the buttons are concerned, your joystick is still on the screen. To me, that feels so weird to not have like a tactile thing to press for a joystick and just sliding it on the screen. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But apparently, Wild Rift is catching on, and everybody loves it because it's League of Legends. So, I guess it's probably just gonna do well.
It's no Valorant, that's for sure.
Yeah, apparently it's not Valorant, but yeah, I'm down. Maybe we'll do that this Friday.
Okay,
so, sounds good.
So, with that being said, listen, guys, we are going to be skipping Ruffhouse deals this week. So I'm gonna push it over to SJW so he can go over the game releases, and then we're gonna have some major announcements. So why don't you go at it, SJW?
Yeah. All right. So it's kind of weird not having you do Roughhouse deals, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it this time. I'm excited for the announcement, though.
Well, we have big deals happening. So Roughhouse deals is kind of like what our announcements, right? Because they're pretty big deals. So maybe we could just say we're going. Maybe we could just say we're going out of order this time, and we're gonna do game releases first, and then we're gonna have the big deals at the end.
Oh, so now you're gonna try to take the save the best for last bit from me now. Great.
Well, great. Listen.
I don't even have anything now,
episode 1. Let's start doing things differently, guys. New season, new rules.
Oh my god. All right. So, anyways, we have. All right. What do we got? We got Glyph for Switch on the 11th. Not a lot of games coming out again. I feel like January, the end of December, and then January because of the holidays.
You're gonna start seeing stuff coming out late February, early March. That's when things start to pick up again. But who knows? With all the stuff that happened with the pandemic, everything's kind of out of whack. So.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. So Glyph for the Switch is a 3D platformer. You explore expansive, non-linear levels, survive, traps, enemies. You develop skills and stuff like that. And apparently, this game has endless speedrun potential. So this might be a pretty big thing if people pick this up as kind of a speedrunning game. I know that's definitely picked up in popularity. You know that that thing on Twitch, Good Games Done Quick?
Yeah, that's speedruns, right?
Yeah, it's all speedruns. They actually did Final Fantasy VII this weekend.
Yeah, and I think when we were at PAX East, they had like a huge thing where people were doing speed runs and stuff that you could sit down and watch. So
that stage or whatever, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, so that comes out on the 11th for only the Switch. King Arthur, Knight's Tale for Steam or PC on January 12th. It says it's a unique hybrid between turn-based tactical games and traditional character-centric RPGs. It's a tactical RPG, dark fantasy, typical, King Arthur stuff, swords and shields and crowns and all that good stuff. Skellboy Refractured comes out on January 13th for PC as well. You are playing as Skippy the Square Flexible Skeleton in an action RPG. It's an indie developed game too. It looks like it's from Umaikai Games, developed and published. So 100% indie developed game there. Definitely looks interesting if you want to go ahead and check it out. Then we have MXGP 2020, which is another way of saying motocross. So a motocross game coming out. That's actually for the PS5 there, though, on January 14th. Yeah. And last but not least, which actually I didn't even... Apparently, Ruffhouse knew this was a thing. I did not.
I own the game, so I knew.
Oh, wait, for what system?
Xbox.
So, for the one?
Yeah, I believe it was either the 1 or 360. I can't remember now.
I was just gonna say, I'm getting old. Why am I asking you if it's the 360 or not? Like, what the Christ is wrong with me? So Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, complete edition. So the game's already been out. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia.
Let's get that Stadia in for the new year.
January. You know what? Their plan is just super long term, Joe. It's just
new games.
All the long term. It's good. Stadia's gonna make it. We're fine. So
they're gonna make it, and you know what else? Who else is gonna make it? The Game Wild podcast is gonna make it because we have some great announcements for 2021. And let's go with the first announcement. SJW, what I'd like you to do, if you can, I'd like you to pull it up on your screen so that it shows and overlays over our thing.
Yeah,
over our live.
I got you.
Shot here, because I think it needs to be said that we have decided after conversations and trying to figure out how much we want to invest in building this podcast, we've decided to build a website.
And here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the website. So you can actually see
the website.
Our stream is embedded in there too.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough to see all of it, but so it's kind of the middle part right here. You can see that our stream is actually streaming live on the website as well because we've embedded all that. You can find everything you need to know about Game Wild on this brand new website.
And the poll. Don't forget the poll.
Well, the poll. Okay, yes. So as I said about Facebook, we also have the poll here as well, where you can vote on either Doritos Flamas Tacos or more Ruffles baked cheddar and sour cream. Wow, we have so much stuff coming down the pike, but this is probably one of the biggest announcements that we want to share with you. Game-wild.com. We will have it in the notes for you guys as the special surprise. So we'll star it and everything. So you'll probably know about this if you read the notes.
And not for nothing,
read the notes.
Give credit where credit's due, Joe. I mean, you were primarily the one to put together this website. I did a couple of things, setting up some accounts and stuff like that. But very, very nice finished product thus far. I'm very excited to start to put some more content on here. But muchas gracias to Ruffhouse Plays for this. This is great.
It's really all about content that we're going to try to start building up and get through. So please visit our website. We're also going to post it on our social media so people can go to it and check it out. So that's the biggest. Though. Yeah.
Is it? You said Doritos Flamas Tacos. Is tacos actually a part of that chip name?
Oh my God, no! Did I say tacos? I'm sorry. I have Mexican food on the brain apparently, so that's
because we were talking about the Mexican chips that we had before, and Flamas. Right, so aren't those Mexican?
Well, it's also
chips
a Mexican thing. And if you guys don't know what it is, you can click on the words of the poll, and it will take you to the website so you can see the chips. So you can make a full-fledged decision, just not off the name, but you can actually click on it, and it will take you directly to the chip website, so you can take a look at it as well. Listen, that's probably the biggest announcement in regards to something that's already out and about for you guys. We are planning on trying to maybe at least once a month, maybe bi-monthly, try and interview people, not just people who develop games like we had last year with Orb Rivals, but also to get streamers on, people who have built a community to kind of not only learn from them, but also try to build our community by joining with them in some ways. So look forward to some interviews. Look forward to us trying to meet people. If you guys have any suggestions, shoot us a message on Facebook. There is a contact page. You can contact us through that contact page. It shows you how to get to us on Facebook. It shows you how to get to us on Twitter. And there's a form there you can fill out, and it will go to our Game Wild TV Gmail account if you have any questions or anything like that as well. So those are probably some of the bigger things that we want to try to do is get content creators and get interviews with game creators and do more of that. And, hopefully if this pandemic slows down a little bit and we're able to see each other again, maybe even try to do streams together physically where we're doing other things like playing games. We talked about board games and stuff like that. All those like little crazy things. Trying to put all that together so that we can kind of, interact with you more, because that was probably one of the biggest things we lacked in 2020 was the fact that there was not a lot of interaction. And I'm not surprised because let's face it, guys, building this stuff takes time. It takes energy and effort, and we're trying to put everything we can into it with our busy lives, and we're doing this because we have a passion and an excitement for it. So, but that passion and excitement will only grow with you. So that's why we want to try to do these live streams now, interact with people on an easier basis. So with that being said, here's to a great 2021. SGW, you have anything to say to end the cast, bro?
You covered all of it. I am super excited for the website. Super excited for the shop as well. The fact that we're able to get the merchandise up too. So there.
Actually, can you want to post that up there real quick and show people on the live stream and on YouTube? So all he has to do is click on shop. Although it does link to Stream Elements, and there's a Stream Elements shop that is set up where you can purchase such lovely things as a over-the-top sweater. They call that like the hoodie sweaters, like over the but they, like, you put it over the because they have zip-up hoodies now and stuff like that. You can get a mouse pad, kiss cut sticker, which I still don't know what that actually means. You can get a t-shirt.
Most importantly, you can get a coffee mug, because why wouldn't you want to look at Game Wild every morning with your fresh cup of Joe?
Exactly, and or a Game Wild T-shirt for that matter. So they're all there, and we do make a profit on this, but it is a minimal one because we want it to be affordable. So if you think these prices are high, these are probably the lowest prices we could put on, where we'd make some semblance, and in some cases we break even.
I think we make 10 cents on one of them.
Yeah, well, that's a sticker. That's why it's $2.10, which my wife says we should move it up to $2.50, so people will be like, "That's not weird." So, but we wanted to make some profit, but not cut it. So, anyways, there you go, guys. This has been episode 1 of season 2. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed year 1 with you, and we look forward to doing this more often. Live streams, we're going to try to do them Sundays at 1:00, but figure between 1 and 2 because of all of our schedules. And yeah, we will see you next week on a live edition of Game Wild, and then on Monday mornings the podcast will drop, and on Monday afternoons you will be able to see the YouTube version of this as well, or you can go to our Twitch channel and watch this. So you can do that too. So there's going to be tons of ways for you to be able to do it. Or even better, go to our website where all of this stuff is now going to be embedded. So you can go to Game Wild and get it all in one spot. You can go and see previous episodes of our YouTube channel. You can get previous episodes of our podcast. And you're also going to be able to see previous videos from our Twitch channel. So there you go, guys.
It's all there. Stop shop.
So there you go. With that being said, it's time to sign off on another edition of Game Wild and episode 1.